What is up, my nerd familia, and welcome to Games y Más, the podcast where we dive deep into the world of board games, video games, and a little bit of pop culture. I'm your host, Vic, and I would like to be the first to welcome you here to our little corner of nerdom. Whether you are a diehard anime fan, a manga reader, a film buff, to a casual, intermediate, cozy board gamer, to an aspiring esports star in the video game world, or to everything in between, this podcast is for you. We would love to engage with you guys, share some stories within the nerd familia, so come join us. If anything that we've said resonates with you, hey, join our wacky adventures here at Games y Más. We would love to have you here. So, with all that being said, pull up a chair, grab some dice, y acompáñame a jugar. Alrighty then. Wow. The time has come, ladies and gentlemen, nerds alike. The time has come. Months of planning or weeks of planning and of playing, and we are here. First of all, I want to welcome everybody in. Thank you so much for joining us. Operation Game Night family and Games y Más familia unite here for this episode here, the series. We are starting a new series here with my co-host here. We have Travis from Operation Game Night. Dude, I mean, I'm so excited. I can't even get this intro down right now because I'm just so excited. But I am very excited. If you guys haven't read the title yet of the screen of the video that you're watching or the podcast or listening on Spotify, we are doing a series on Resident Evil in celebration of Requiem that has released. At the time of this recording, it released last week?
Last week, and 30th anniversary of Resident Evil as a franchise.
There you go. Yeah. Oh, that's right. Yes, 30th anniversary. So, in celebration of that, Travis and I decided to join forces here, and we are going through. Oh man, this is gonna be this. I don't know how we're gonna do this, but I feel like we can do this. But we're going through every single Resident Evil game that we can get our hands on, if we can do it. If not, we can stick to the main storylines. But I want to play all the spin-offs as much as I can, at least like the Outbreak files and some other things.
Yeah.
But we are going to be doing a almost deep dive of each game. So each episode will be a game. We decided to start on 0. Talking offline, Travis and I said that we should have started it with 1. But it's all right. It's all right. You know, we committed to 0. And we're going to keep going down the line. And we're going to give our thoughts, our things that we liked, look deeper into this game, some memories that we've made. And yeah, I'm just excited. I'm excited that we have Travis here. You know, you're co-hosting this with me here. So it's much as your episode as it is mine. This is our series we decided to commit to. And
if you're joining from the Operation Game Night family, I know that there's an overlap here. There's a Venn diagram between Games y Más and yes. Operation Game Night. And today we are... what's the thing that they do in Dragon Ball Z with the dance and then they fuse?
Oh, fusion.
Yeah, we're doing a fusion here, and we're combining forces to celebrate a franchise that Vic and I both love. I know that he is into these games. We talked horror games around October, around Halloween time frame. Yes, so I shot him a text. I said, hey, 30th anniversary. Hey, Resident Evil Requiem. Hey, let's do a joint series on the Resident Evil games. So here we are. We're here to talk about a franchise that we both love and, celebrate this franchise and celebrate a rich history, a mixed history, a mixed bag of success and failures, a tapestry of tales. So, yeah, here we are. Let's talk some Resident Evil 0.
Yes, let's do a Resident Evil 0. Oh, man, I am excited. Very pumped to talk about this series. And yeah, definitely mixed bag of a lot of in fact, with this game too, a lot of mixed bag with this game.
Oh yeah.
A lot of people hate it. A lot of people don't hate it. And I'm on the camp of I enjoyed this game. Not to say that it didn't have any setbacks of some things that I was like, I was kind of cringing towards. But yeah, let's dive into Resident Evil 0 here. Travis, you want to give us the spiel? Give us the whole what is Resident Evil 0 series in this franchise? An overview, a synopsis, anything that you want to add on, and then we'll dive into that for sure.
All right. Resident Evil, the original, comes out in 1996. And they immediately, upon seeing the success of the original Resident Evil, said, we have some new capability coming out in the Nintendo 64. What if we can develop a kind of counterpart to Resident Evil, maybe like a prequel / overlapping story to the original? They're like, the Nintendo 64 has additional RAM. We might be able to have increased graphics and a better production if we start putting something together now for the Nintendo 64. And things got delayed a little bit. They ended up having these additional spin-offs that came around, like in 1998. They start working on Resident Evil Code Veronica and start taking advantage of the CD-ROM format. And they start really maximizing some of these other aspects that get fleshed out later. It took so long to develop Resident Evil 0 with the additional improved graphics and different mechanics that they end up shifting gears and saying, like, let's push this. We have additional things to put out. Let's kick this down the road a little bit. Eventually, it ends up coming out in 2002 on GameCube. Okay,
GameCube.
They did get a Resident Evil 2 on the Nintendo 64. That was the first Resident Evil on a Nintendo system. But this one comes out 2002 and is already met with mixed reviews. Resident Evil 2 really kicks the door in, smashing success. Everyone's excited about Resident Evil now. And then they get to Resident Evil 0. Hey, I see it's a prequel to the game that I once loved on the PlayStation. Let's go back and revisit. Kind of a mixed bag for success.
Yeah.
People love the improved graphics. People love the atmospheric music that they're able to put into this game, because I didn't have that memory asset in the original PlayStation to generate that many assets, that many polygons, right? So it comes out in 2002 on a GameCube, which is a more powerful system, and they're able to squeeze a little bit more life out of the original same type of build that they had for Resident Evil 1. And this is the one where they kind of introduce the partner switching instead of choosing your own adventure, like Leon or Jill, right? So they have, Rebecca and they have Billy, and you have to switch back and forth to solve problems. People really seem to like that. You could switch back and forth. You can play as both. They each have their pros and cons.
Right.
They both are good at things and bad at things, and they have their own advantages and their own weaknesses. And that was well received. People liked the idea, but were kind of middling on the execution. Like, might have been executed better. Might have come up with some more challenging puzzles besides sending things up and down in an elevator back to one another. So kind of a mixed bag there. And then they went backwards to the same type of inventory management system that they had in the original. And we're going to get into it, but not received well. At this point, it already seems antiquated as compared to some of the other games that you had come out on the N64 PlayStation era that had far superior inventory management. And I know that is a landmark for the franchise, this inventory management system that becomes very well loved once you hit like RE3 and 4. Specifically 4 is like the big, Tetris puzzle of inventory management that it really becomes known for. But when this came out, people were so middling on this. You're going to drop stuff all over the mansion to come back to it later. Oh my God, where did I leave the zip line? Like,
oh man,
it becomes this hassle, and it kind of gets in the way. So mixed reviews, kind of a step back in the franchise's lineage, both in mechanics, in gameplay, in character development, in setting even. People kind of grew to love this one as a companion to 1. We are playing this as a companion to 1. If you are playing this for the first time, I would not recommend starting with this one, because you will be very lost. Start with Resident Evil 1 and then go play 0, because they do overlap. It's not really a prequel so much as it is like an overlapping narrative with kind of side characters. And we'll get into that a little bit later. But my preferred way, the way that I played this one, was the 2015 HD remaster. They didn't really clean up all that much besides the visuals. Gameplay is still the same. I'm sure with their like whole sweeping remake efforts that they will eventually go back and do this one and make it the bright, shiny thing that all the original 3, 4 have become in their remakes. But for right now, the HD remake 2015, it's on everything. You can find it on any platform. That would be my preferred way to play.
Yeah, for sure. Definitely. Yeah. Thank you so much for giving us the whole spiel on the history of Resident Evil 0 and the Resident Evil franchise to begin with. Do you know off the top of your head, did Resident Evil 4 come before or after this game? Zero, because I know they both came for the GameCube.
Resident Evil 4 was the same year, I believe.
Did it come out the same year as?
No,
Resident
I'm sorry. Resident Evil 0 was 2002. Resident Evil 4 was 2005.
Okay, so it came out 3 years after. Okay.
Yep.
I remember because they were both for the GameCube. I never got a chance to play this one for the GameCube. My first experience with this game was on the Xbox. Was it the Xbox 360? Did it come out for 360 or Xbox One? I forgot when I first got to play this game. It was on one of the earlier consoles.
Okay.
And then I beat it. One of the few Resident Evil games that I actually beat fully. It was Resident Evil 4 and then 0, and then I went back to 1. I played 1, but I never got to beat it because I got stuck on puzzles and I got frustrated and I ended up rage quitting. And then 2, again, it got hard for me, so I had to stop. Like a true gamer. So 0 and 4 were the only ones that I kind of beat fully. So they have a little special place in my heart for these games here. We'll get into Resident Evil 0 here. And a big, want to give a big warning preface that we are going to be talking spoilers. So if you've never played these games or if you're really interested in these games, then I would suggest pausing this episode and go get yourself a copy of the Resident Evil 0 or any of these franchises and go play it for yourself and go and experience maybe what we experienced and then come back to this episode. We can talk and share memories. But if you don't care about spoilers, this is your warning now that we are going to be diving into the spoiler territory, mainly for Resident Evil 0. So you've been warned. So I'll give you like 2 seconds to just pause the video. And then we'll
give you 2 seconds to play a 24-year-old game.
I'll give you 2 seconds. You have 2 seconds to beat Resident Evil 0, right? Go.
That's right.
All right. Now we're spoiler territory.
Now we're back.
We're back. Okay, Resident Evil 0. Like you said, it's kind of a companion. Dives deeper more into the storyline or into the lore of the Resident Evil world, especially with the creation of the T virus. We see how it was introduced with leeches. Leeches were, I guess, a test subject. And was it? No, it wasn't Spencer. Who was the main protagonist of this one? I forgot his name. Was it Henry? No.
It is James Marcus.
James Marcus. James Marcus created this. He teamed up with Spencer, if I'm correct, and then they were created Umbrella. Yep. And Marcus was getting a little paranoid that Spencer wanted to take over and kill him off and take his ideas and whatever. And so you have that going off. That's the background storyline. You have the introduction of Billy Cohen, a new character that we haven't seen. If you're familiar with Resident Evil 1, you know who Rebecca Chamber is. You meet her in the mansion, but now you see the before she got to the mansion, which is really cool. Rebecca Chambers is one of my favorite characters. I really like her. I think she's really cool. She's got. You
prefer Rebecca to Billy?
I would prefer Rebecca over Billy.
Okay.
Billy's too like Dante's from Devil May Cry. Where he's like, "Oh, I'm so cool, man. I got guns." And I'm just like, come on, bro. You're zombies. You can't be too cool for zombies, man. You can't just be like, yeah, I'm just gonna shoot and start diving. I used to be on some cutscenes.
He's a little Max Payne in that way, yeah.
Yes, he's
like
too
his
Max
first introduction is like a slow motion dive to the side where he's firing 6 shooters.
Yes.
And blowing up leeches that are on Rebecca, right?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, I'm like, wow, this guy's got that John Wick aim. Okay, cool. So I prefer Rebecca. Rebecca's more kind of like, all right, what is happening? I'm new, whatever. She's part of STARS, and she's just trying to do her job. And so, yes, we have the introduction of these characters here. We get to see more of their backstory. Obviously, Rebecca's responding to a call from the forest. You find the vehicle that's overturned, and you find the news and the articles of how this vehicle was transporting this dangerous criminal, Billy Cohen, who apparently killed 26 people and is on the hunt. And so you're over here trying to figure out what's happening. You have some weird dude that's singing. I remember the beginning of the cutscene he's singing. I was just like, sure.
It's like singing opera, up on a mountain. Yeah.
Up on a mountain on a moving train that, happens to have leeches in them, and everyone changes into zombies in this. And so we start off and we're in the train, and not as all that it seems. I do like that they have the text at the beginning when you start the game or start a load file where it's like, in order to stop the nightmare, you need to, or something like that, how they did with Resident Evil 1 and 2,
Yeah.
where they had that little, the door is shut behind you.
Pretext.
There's no pretext. And I was like, okay, I'm glad you guys kept that because it kind of gives you more of the spooky vibe. Like, all right, what are we getting ourselves into? But we can dive more. We can go like level by level if you want to go. We can start off with this whole train segment, this whole train arc here.
Before we get to the train,
yes,
let's talk.
Go ahead.
You said that you prefer Rebecca to Billy.
Oh yeah, let's go over that. Yeah.
Here's my first hot take.
Okay.
Is that Billy is one of the best protagonist characters that they never revisit.
Oh.
He actually has a dark backstory. He actually has some agency. He is actually like running to better himself.
Okay.
Most of the other protagonists that you see in the Resident Evil franchise, they are just like, super killer himbo that's just dumb and just going through this thing as an action star.
Yeah.
And yes, your introduction to Billy is kind of ridiculous. He's like diving through a train, shooting leeches off Rebecca. I get it. It's a little bit ridiculous.
Yeah.
This whole game is ridiculous. It's very anime. Okay.
Yeah. It's Resident Evil, man.
But he's one of the characters that actually has a dark backstory that he's running from and trying to do better and there's a purpose for the reason that he has these skills besides like he's on a special task force. Like, that he was a Marine, that he was on a specialized unit. And I would say, like, you see Rebecca in this one, and I don't want to jump too far ahead to Resident Evil 1, but when you meet her in Resident Evil 1, she's scared, she's timid, she's like running, she's kind of hair on fire, like doesn't know what to do with herself.
Yeah.
You see her in this one, and they kind of retcon all that development that they have in Resident Evil 1.
You're right.
It's okay to have characters that are scared to be in this world, right?
Yeah.
Like, they want you to be able to put yourself into the shoes of these characters. And I get that. Like, this was the time for that. These silent protagonists that go and do your bidding, and you can project yourself onto these characters. It's okay to have a scared character in this world that is falling apart and has literally succumbed to this super virus that is like tearing the world apart. So that's my hot take number one. Billy is the best protagonist that we never revisit again. You like literally never see him.
Yeah.
And two, Rebecca should not have been retconned as hard as she was.
I agree. Yeah, I agree. I think, when they created Resident Evil 1 and they had Rebecca there, they're like, okay, this is a scared girl. She doesn't know what's happening. They sure, but I feel like when they made Zero, they literally forgot about that whole part, and they're just like, we got this girl. She's going in. She's gonna be like trying to figure out. She's gonna solve the case, and it's like, okay, how'd she go from like solving the case and being like, we did it, to like, what is happening? Why are there zombies? I'm like, bro, you spent the whole 16 hours on a train, like, and all there is fighting off zombies and abominations to just be like, there's zombies here too? Oh my goodness. I'm like, okay, come on, Capcom.
Yeah.
And so, yes, interesting hot take with Billy. And you are right. They don't revisit him ever again.
Yep.
They did build him up, and I would have liked to see him. I mean, even like put him in 7 or something like that, not 7, 6. I mean, one of the worst ones, in my opinion. Put him in there because you're dumping everybody in there. Might as well just put him in there. Who cares? Interesting. You would like him. He's a military man, so of course it's going to resonate towards you for sure as well. I was like, all right. But yes, he does have a dark backstory, which we'll get into more as we go on later on, progress through the game more. Which is very interesting. And now that you mention it, yes, you're right. So I'm like, why? Why drop him? Why leave him? He could have built him up more. He could have at least get us some resolution, like what happened to him, like what's going on with him.
Think about how many times we've seen Leon come back. Leon is like just the go-to, but again, he's kind of a dumb himbo most of the time. I think that like a buddy cop duo between Leon and Billy would be freaking amazing.
That would be great. Or he crosses paths with Chris, and he's like, yo, what's up? We're both in, military man or something. Interesting. Yes. Interesting hot take. Okay. I like that hot take. I think I would lean more towards your hot take. Yes. The more you explain it. I still love Rebecca because I think she's a cool character in this one. If you had this character and then you translate it over to Resident Evil 1, I think I would have liked her more.
Okay.
But yeah, once we get to Resident Evil 1, she just goes out the window. I'm like, I don't care about her anymore. But in this one specifically, yes, I do like it. I do like the fact that they went towards with Rebecca.
Yeah.
Because it kind of gives you that more of like the world building of like, okay, how did Rebecca get to the mansion? Well, we'll find out in Resident Evil 0. You just got to play it. And so I did enjoy that. going to this train level, I thought this train sequence level to begin the game was pretty well done. I think it was kind of different because again, you're stuck on this train.
Yeah.
You know, there's zombies everywhere. You're very claustrophobic. You can't move anywhere. You can't go anywhere. You got to either dive or shoot and waste your bullets, or what are you gonna do? You have the classic, the dogs breaking through the window like we saw in Resident Evil 1. You have those things going through there. We have the introduction of, you know, Billy meeting Rebecca. Billy going, hey, we gotta stick together. And she's like, no way, you're a criminal. And you know, it's like, all right, whatever, go figure something up there. So you have the interaction. I think the dialogue in this game is just so
it's bad.
It's
real
horrible.
bad.
It's so horrible. And like the reactions to everything, just like, okay, let's go. I'm like, oh, it's bad.
They have this hard hitting moment between the two of them at every cutscene, and then they just drop it at the exact wrong time.
Yes, they do.
Billy's like running from this dark past. He's like, forget it. Like I'm past that. And then she's like, okay. And then they just like go about their business, right?
Right. Yeah. Never even talk about her or anything like that. You're like, or she's not like, you're a criminal. You're that guy who killed. And he's like, yeah, whatever. And she's like, okay. And it's like, all right, this is the guy you were hunting. And you're like, you know, who cares? We got to figure this out. You're like, okay, sure.
So to your point, I really think the opening sequence on the train is well done. My other hot take right now is that opening sequence is the best part of the game, because the exploration is so limited that it has a little bit of problem solving. It introduces you to tight spaces and limited ammo. And for the most part, like the theme of the game is zombie take over the world. You have zombie enemies for the most part, besides the giant scorpion for some reason. But like the problem solving is easy enough. You get a little taste of the inventory management. You get a little bit of a taste for the character swapping back and forth and what they're both good at.
Yes.
But then I think once you bloat it with other stuff, like the second they step foot in the mansion, I think you start a gradual slide down the hill in terms of gameplay quality. So if you're looking for just the taste of Resident Evil, I would just play that first like 90-minute section and just be like, all right, I get it. I'm done.
That's it. Train crash, right? That's all we need. You know?
All good.
I agree. I agree with your hot take, because if you notice all the marketing and all the like imagery, it's like all centered around like the train.
Oh yeah.
So like a lot of the wallpapers you'll see about the train and everything. You're like, all right, cool, the train. But it's like realistically, if you were like speed run this section, it's like 15 minutes.
Yeah.
Like just quick 15 minutes. I mean, I was able to do it in like 15 minutes when I sped run it for my second playthrough.
Dang.
I mean, it helps that I had like infinite ammo because I locked it. So I was just like blasting everything, just going through. But if you follow the whole sequence where you fight the giant scorpion that happens to be on a moving train that just happened to land on there. Okay, sure, it's Resident Evil, whatever. You know, I'm not going to question anything. You get past the weird, elevator thing where you have to pass the little ice pick to open the door. Get past, unlocking doors, but to unlock doors, you got to open this winch, and then also getting past the weird braking mechanism that you have to do, where one of you has to go to the end of the train, enter a code, and then the other one has to go in the front and then enter the code, and you're timed. You have like 4 minutes to do it.
Yeah.
Which honestly, my thing about these games is I hate those time sequences because they ramp up my anxiety so much. Because I'm like, I gotta hurry up, and it's like going on there, and then the music's not ramping, and then the zombies are everywhere. I'm just like, no, I just get so anxious when it comes to that stuff. So I'm like, but
it's kind of an artifact of its time, though, right? Like you have a failure mechanism that is the train is going to crash at this point in time. The big bad is going to beat you or like overcome you at this time.
Yeah, and
you can see the timer at the top of the screen. Yes, it is anxiety inducing, but you see that later on, like in other video games early in the PlayStation era. Like Halo, like we got to get off the ring in this amount of time, and like it shakes your screen and everything, but you don't see that timer.
Yeah.
So I get it. Would they have any reason to know in universe how much time they actually have before it crashes? Probably not.
No.
But it's at least anxiety inducing for the moment.
It is, especially when it comes to like survival horror. And if you're like, first of all, you're already freaking out that there's zombies everywhere and you're trying to conserve as much ammo as you can. But now when you're timed, you're like, crap, I have to use my ammo now because they're blocking my way and I have to get there and I have 4 minutes to do this. And then I'm just like, doing the puzzle for the braking system. I'm like, great, I have to math now. Like, I hate mathing. It sucks. And so you have to figure out the code to make sure it matches up. You got to input the correct sequence of numbers, so it works out. In the back of the train, you have the numbers. When you get to the front of the train, it's half of the screen is cracked, so you don't know. So you're gonna have to start guessing to figure out. That was I was like, okay, great, thanks. So multiple tries, and I finally figured it out. So we got to that. We got to do that. We're introduced again to the bad camera angles. Oh my gosh, how many times have we gone to the section and you stop and then you go backwards again? You're like, no, and it keeps changing it. Oh my gosh. I remember playing this game. I'm like, this is something I did not miss about the Resident Evil games, just the bad camera angles.
Static camera, and I get it. Like, you have a pre-rendered area with pre-rendered skins on those walls. And like, especially in the HD remake, even originally, those those set pieces, those dioramas that you're looking into look phenomenal. They look really good. The audio is good. Like, they tell you when there's enemies nearby. You walk into a place and you can hear the zombie go, whoa, and you know that he's in there, right?
Yes.
You might not be able to see him because of the terrible angle. But at least like they made it look nice, and it served a purpose. But man, like, navigating corners is one of your biggest threats in this game, because you walk around the corner, you're holding the stick forward like you would normally, and then they walk back around the corner, and you go back and forth like 3 times before you figure it out.
Yes. Oh my goodness. Yes. That's the true villain of this game. It's not the zombies. It's the camera angles. That's the real bad guys of
and the inventory management.
And the inventory. Everything's the zombies and the monsters and the boss. No, the inventory and your angles, camera angles, are the real enemies of these earlier on Resident Evil games for sure. And then okay, I have to ask, do you do the little? I call it the gun cheat, or like the aim cheat, where you go in a room, and if you want to know if there's an enemy, you aim and you automatically turn to where there's an enemy, and you'd be like, that's
I did not do that. No.
Okay.
I usually listen for the cues, because like the music will change, or they'll make a noise or whatever. There are a couple of enemies that do not make noises, I got a couple times, but
yes, is it the hunters? Oh, I hated the hunters.
The headless, skinless guys that are jumping on you.
Not those. Oh, I know which one is. Like, they look like I forgot what the hunters. Let me see if I can pull it.
The monkeys.
I hate the monkeys too. Oh my goodness,
the worst enemy. The worst.
Oh my gosh,
they can like jump halfway across the screen.
These things.
Oh yeah.
These hunters. These things don't make any noise.
The lizard men. Yeah.
The lizard men, and they jump on you, and like, oh my goodness, like this was
those are terrible. Those might be my least favorite. I think that was the one time that I think I actually died to these guys one time.
Oh, did you?
When you go down, you have like we're jumping ahead in the story, but like you're in the lab, you go underneath, you have that box puzzle where you slide the boxes around, and then Rebecca has to activate it, and then they come out of their cage, and then they both like gank you down there.
Yeah,
down the
you gotta
pit.
fight them. Yes. Oh yes, I hated it. So these monsters, I hated it a lot. They didn't make a noise, but yes, the gun cheat, the aim cheat that I used, like, you just go in a room, and if you can't hear anything, I'll like face a wall, and then if you aim, your character automatically aim towards where like a boss is, an enemy is. So you can tell, okay, I know there's an enemy here. I don't know where it is, but at least I know there's an enemy here.
Interesting.
Yeah, and you can hear it. So I thought a lot of people might have known about that. That I call it the aim cheat.
Well, I'm not as familiar with some of these earlier ones. Like 4 and on, I'm golden, but these earlier ones I don't have as much like experience with. So
when we go with 1, try it out. When you start playing 1, give that a whirl, because they'll aim it. And it saves you a lot of headache sometimes, because you're like, I can't. Sometimes the zombies are just standing in place. Yeah. And then when the camera angles, you see it there, and you're like, oh, great, okay. So we got done with the train. Train crashes. Now we're in this facility, which you survived this train crash miraculously. Okay, cool. You know,
of course,
it's Resident Evil. Why wouldn't you change? And then, but it miraculously ends you up into the umbrella training facility, which is honestly, it's another reskin for the mansion. Resident Evil. It's a big reskin for. Playing this, I was like, this is the mansion all over again. We're back in the mansion. So let's stick it to the formula of Resident Evil 1. We're back in this mansion again, or training facility. This training facility, dude, I memorized to the T.
Really?
Mainly because of the Leech Hunter mode that you get to play. Once you beat the game, you unlock Leech Hunter mode.
Okay.
And that's where you get to unlock things like the submachine gun, infinite ammo. So, but the leash hunter mode is only centered around the training facility and the underground basement where the monkeys are.
Okay.
That's the only, you can't go any further than in the map. That's all you can go in those areas. So I played that mode a lot. I memorized that whole mansion a lot, so I know a lot of that stuff. We're in this mansion, figuring out, wondering what's going on. We see a picture of Marcus, a portrait of Marcus. We're like, that's the founder of Umbrella. Oh my goodness, what's going on here? Why are we here? And then we get our introduction of Spencer, Wesker. Sorry, Spencer and Wesker. We see them, and if you played the first one, you know, oh, that's Wesker, yeah. And then if you are familiar with the whole Resident Evil series, you're like, that's Wesker. What the crap? And
if you haven't played the first one, then you're like, who the heck are these guys that are sitting in a room watching me? Like,
yep, exactly. Which again, I want to preface again and reiterate what Travis said. Play the first one before you play this one. It'll make much more sense, and you appreciate it more because you're like, you're getting more lore. If you play this one, you'll be like, I don't know what's happening, what's going on. This is lame. This is dumb. I'm gonna go play Halo or Call of Duty. Whatever. So we're at this training facility again. This facility filled with puzzles, man.
And very reminiscent of Resident Evil 1 and Resident Evil 2. Like, the puzzles laid out in front of you. You kind of know exactly what you have to do the second you walk in. But then the steps to getting it are kind of the Metroidvania survival horror. That's where that comes in, right? Yeah. Run out, get a piece, bring it back. Run out, get a piece, bring it back. Yep. In lieu of like separate dungeons that you would see in like the Zeldas and things like that. Correct. It's like, go to this wing, get to the very end, get the piece, bring it back to the center.
Yep.
And I get it. It's a really clever way to do level design where they can build this kind of puzzle box within itself, where you feel like you are well within the confines of this facility. But it's pretty straightforward. I don't like how they introduced a little bit of complexity, or like they tried to make things difficult. Listen, if it's 2002 and I'm sitting there and this is the only video game that I have, hide these pieces as crazy as you want, right? Yep. Like the key that's up on top of like the moose's antler that's in the study. Go ahead, go for it. I don't care if I'm in 2002 sitting there with only this game to play. Make this game last forever.
Yep.
Adult Travis has a lot of problem with that, where I'm like, oh my God, just show me where I need to go. Like, I prefer something more linear. Just give me what I need to move on. I'm already frustrated with the controls. That's a whole nother topic. But like some of the ways that they introduce complexity are so esoteric and so out there that like no normal person would be like, I have to find a key. Of course it's up on the antler of the moose in the study. Like, some of that stuff is a little
you gotta turn on the light so you can get it, otherwise you can't do anything. These doors don't have a keyhole, but there's a symbol of a clock on them. Oh my gosh, okay, now I have to go find something that's gonna unlock these doors. Oh, okay, great. Jeez, thanks a lot. And so, typical Resident Evil fashion, this training facility is not as it seems. It's intricate of winding hallways, locked doors apparently, and puzzles that you need to solve. And you have the foreboding enemy, the Leechmen, that I hated so much because you'll turn a corner and all of a sudden the music pops up and like that Leechman is there and you're like, this guy again. I don't want to. It's a bullet sponge and then it blows up and it hurts you even more. I hate this.
Yeah,
this sucks. This so much. You have your sprinkle of zombies. You have your sprinkle of mutated cockroaches for some reason. And then you have the big mini second boss you fight. You're like fighting all these kind of insects everywhere, which if you're a big reader and you collect the files, it'll give you a history of why they've collected all these animals. I tried to read all as much of it, but when you get towards the later end of the game, I'm like, I don't want to read this. I just want to play this game. All right, I don't care about the lore. But yes, they collected animals, experimented on insects, got enlarged, all because they're trying to control them for militaristic purposes, I guess, or weapons. I mean, sure, go for it, Umbrella. Whatever you want to do, sure, whatever. I'm just trying to escape this facility here. That my train happened to crash. Here's a funny question for you. Did you leave the grappling hook in the train crash?
I did not leave the grappling hook. I feel like by the time I finished the train crash, I had done enough inventory management to keep what I needed to keep. Mm-hmm. Now, once you get to the main floor of the facility, I'm just dumping stuff all over the place. Like that atrium was just littered. Like the floor was glittery by the time I was done because I'm just dumping things left and right.
Yes.
And that was the hardest part, was every time you have to circle back for ammo or health or a weapon or whatever, I'm like searching through these piles of like glitter, trying to find my shotgun, trying to find whatever. Oh my God.
Everything just shining everywhere. You're
Oh,
like,
it's terrible.
You're going
It's
blind.
terrible.
Yes. I was an idiot that left the hook shot throughout the whole game until you get to the very end-ish, and you need to use it. I'm like, I have to circle back.
Oh,
come on. I have to go all the way back. It sucks.
Wow.
And so I had to go all the way back down to the sewers, down to the train crash, and pick up the hook shot and go back. And it was a pain in the neck. But we have the training facility. More lore is released, revealed. We have our second mini boss fight. We versed this big centipede looking thing that. Who did it capture? Did it capture Billy or did it capture Rebecca?
Rebecca.
I think it could only capture Rebecca because Billy's the only one that's strong enough to turn on the.
He's got to turn the crank.
Yeah, because he's the man. He's got the buffness.
That's right.
And so got to save Rebecca, shoot it down. More bullet sponge wasting. You're getting mad because this thing's soaking up so many bullets. Unless you have like the hunting rifle, which again that only takes 2 shots and you got to reload. Takes up 2 slots in your inventory, so like great. That's you got to deal with that. I will say the character switching is very fluid. I like how they did it. You have the little heartbeat, and it switches, and it's like instant, kind of like that. It's not like little loading, wait, and then you get like it's very fluid. And I like it because you can be like on the other side of the whole map and you switch, and it'll go like pretty quickly. So that's a mechanic that I really enjoyed about when it comes to switching.
And that's the amazing thing. They hide these loading screens into everything. You open a door, you go up the stairs. Like there are so many loading screens in this game, and yet you can switch like that and it's instant. And it was like that on the GameCube. Like how do they, I don't know how they do it. I don't know why they do it. I don't like, there's a lot about it that I don't understand, but it's cool. And I think that's a reason it was well received at the time, was like you can solve these puzzles quickly by switching back and forth. And I think it's a cool mechanism that they should have relied on heavily going forward. But
for sure. Yeah, definitely. Yeah. But moving on from the training facility, we move on to the underground basement area, experimentation area, where we figure out more information of what's going on. We realize that Mr. Marcus is trying to get revenge on Spencer and Wesker for screwing him over. So that he's sending him out, getting his revenge, and we just happen to be in the middle of it. And you're like, now you're gonna die too, because we're like, bro, we're just trying to get out. It's like we had no quarrel with you, but now I guess we're part of. Now you're like your number one target, I guess. Okay, sure. After the training facility, you're in the basement, and after the basement, we move on to where do we go from there? Oh, we go to like the outer area. We go to the outer area where you
have the chapel.
The chapel area where you fight the big old bat. Find this big old bat that you fight. Yay. Great. Another third mini boss that you fight. Yep. Awesome. Great. Cool. And that's the part where I was like, great, I need the hook shot. I need the hook shot because I got to get on the roof. Got to go back. So you go back, you go underground, and you realize now you're in the research laboratory area where they did all the experiments. You find out more information. Which didn't click to me was there's a cutscene with Billy where he's looking at the photo of Marcus and them. And he's like 1949. He's like, that must mean that he's his grandson. You're like, I was like, what? Like, wait, grandson? What are you talking about? He just laid that information down, and then like it's like, I keep going, keep moving.
And then they never touch it again. Like
never touch. Yeah.
Are they immortal? Are they like?
Yeah. Like okay, sure. And it's like, keep going. It was like the most randomest like cutscene ever, because it's like you just pick up a photo and you're like, all right, now we got to keep going. And I was like, sure.
I'll have to go watch like a lore video of this one to figure out how these all tie together. I'm sure somebody has mapped this out for this entire franchise.
Oh yeah.
But yeah, like they dropped these little bits. I'm like, am I supposed to care about these people? Like, this person's mentioned in a journal. This person is here. This like. It seems a bit disconnected, and maybe that's my ignorance that I have not played these first couple in a very long time. But yeah, I was super lost on some of that stuff.
Yeah, the Resident Evil does a good they're notorious for showing you cutscenes that like are like okay, but it's like Well, if you read these articles over here, it's going to tie into the cuts. And you're like, well, I don't want to read, bro. I'm trying to survive. Like reading and surviving don't go hand in hand. You know, I gotta figure out what's happening. I will say with the lore down in the laboratory, you do read Marcus's journal, which gives you a lot of more context, which how he discovered it, how he has this asphyxiation with leeches for some reason. He's creating this, it's called the tyrant virus or the T virus. We know that, you know, infects everybody. He was trying it out on rats, insects. He's getting good results, but he was like, I need to find human. He's like, he explains, I need to find human trials now, but no one's volunteering, obviously. So he's like, I'm going to start kidnapping some of my own employees and seeing what's happening. And now he's getting these reactions. People are turning to zombies. But he's getting more. He's realizing that his leeches are reacting very positively to his virus. That almost to the point that now they can obey his commands. So you're like, hint, hint. Okay, we can see why these leeches are now, you know, being controlled. And then you have some spiders apparently in there, big old spiders that I hate so much because those things poison you, and you're like, I have to go. I have to get the blue herbs now. I'm like,
I left it down in the atrium. I gotta go back.
Gotta go back before my character dies and everything. Yes, you make your way. There's a moment in the game where Billy and Rebecca are separated because Billy falls over because this monkey grabs him and throws him over. He gets thrown over, and which is hilarious because it's like instead of like Rebecca be like Billy, it's like she's like Billy. And it's like, all right, keep going. So it's like
just like so flat, just very like Billy, no,
Billy, no. All right, I'm gonna take the cable car. I'm just gonna keep going. You're like, you're not gonna like try to look for him or something. Like you're just not gonna go like, what happened? You happen to stumble upon him in the sewers or in the dam. Now we're in the dam. So like, I think the dam was like the least favorite of my section of the game. The whole dam facility. Mainly because this is the spot. This is the area where I only died, and I was so pissed. Because I died in this area, and it's the part where you have to send Rebecca in the little gondola by herself. She goes over, she activates the dam, it opens the bridge so Billy can cross. I totally forgot about this, and I don't know why they have this section, but I was like, okay, I'm just gonna leave Rebecca in that area. I'm gonna send Billy to meet up in the bridge. You go down to the bridge, and this big old frog comes out of nowhere. And I'm like, oh, okay, great. I'm gonna shoot it, but this frog like uses its tongue. Grabs you and drags you, and you can't get out of it, and then you die. And I was just like, "Are you kidding me?" Like,
there's
seriously?
like no pretext to giant frogs at all. There's like, you have not encountered any sort of amphibian or water-based threat yet, and all of a sudden, this giant frog,
big old
it's like
frog.
This cartoon frog jumps out of the water and nabs you. Yeah. It's ridiculous.
Oh my god! And Travis, let me tell you, I have a big phobia of frogs. I hate frogs. I hate frogs with a passion. If I see a frog, I just want to like kill it, and it irks me. So when I saw this thing, I freaked out. I was like, "Oh!" And then I was like, it killed me. So I was like, this is why I hate frogs even more now. The frog killed me. I was so mad because I was like, I'm gonna beat this game without dying. No, frog kills me. Stupid frog kills me. So then I had to redo the whole thing. I went back with Rebecca. I'm like, no, I'm taking Billy with me. So in case that happens, we're just going to both blast it and kill it. So that's the only time I died. But that's pretty much towards the end game. You get down. You realize that Marcus is the same person he was in the photo. The leak just kept them alive. So you're like, what? Oh, my goodness. Plot twist. I saw that and I was like, cool. Boss fight, I guess. Cool. And you could tell... Typical Resident Evil fashion. You can tell it's a boss fight when the room next before you go in is filled with saves, items, herbs, and you're like, "Oh, there's a boss fight coming." You know it is. You know it is. And I feel like these games introduced that, and like a lot of other video games like implemented that little mechanic of like, "Oh, there's a boss fight, so we're gonna throw all these items your way before so you can prepare." I think Resident Evil might have introduced that. I don't know. You guys in the comment section, you can correct me if I'm wrong. But then we verse the big Leech Queen, and then this whole big confrontation. You start shooting it, blasting it. Oh, I even forgot. We verse Tyrant, a prototype Tyrant.
Yeah.
You verse the prototype Tyrant. All 2 seconds of him. Because it's like, all right, this is a prototype. You killed him. All right, that's it.
Also an annoying fight because it's like the tightest of spaces. Like,
oh yeah, and you're waiting for an elevator.
A one deep walkway that you like do a little L shape on. So you're doing the corner thing again. Against this giant thing that's approaching. So Yeah.
And his hitbox is like he like can reach like half the map
Yeah.
and just swipe you, and you're like, all right,
course.
cool. Why not? Sure, we'll go. We'll go with this. Why not? Who cares? So yeah, we have the tyrant, and they're like, ha ha, we're teasing you. You got to go play 3 to figure out what that is. Bye. And you're like, oh, great. So as someone that's if you never play this game, you're like, all right, well that was pointless. But if you're a fan of it, you might be like, oh yeah, good cameo, whatever. But then and then you get to the big boss fight, the Leech Queen. Which typical faction, you can't just blow it up. You got to go do some things, and you got to
Another countdown timer.
And you got to open up the roof and burn it with sun.
Yep.
So that's another fight. I almost died because Rebecca was like really low, and like she was like, I had no herbs left, and I was like, so I was just like blasting it, like, get over here, come focus on me. I don't care if I die, whatever. And it opens up the hatches, burns the queen.
Billy does another Max Payne diving, or he doesn't dive this time, but he definitely has a catchphrase.
Yes.
Shoots it with the Magnum. It like explodes larger than any handgun has ever blown up a creature before.
What does he say? I want to know what he says.
Oh, he says like, hey, Queenie, like suck on this or something.
So, Queenie or what is he? Let me see. I'm gonna look at
something very 90s. I don't know. Hey, Queenie, feast on this.
Oh, there we go. Feast on this.
Let me do my best. Let me do my best Billy impression.
Here we go.
Hey, Queenie, feast on this.
Hey, that was good. That was very good. Yeah. You have Billy's little raspy.
Yeah.
Hey, how's it going? And then you have the big final boss fight. Beat it, blows it up. You have Billy's famous line, feast on this. And then you're all of a sudden it's like you're out in the sun. It's daytime again. Apparently, I guess it's been nighttime the whole game. Which I'm curious to know how does this whole game span over just one day? All that just one day?
They didn't sleep. They probably stayed up and just saved the whole world in one fell swoop.
One fell swoop. Yes, they did. You're out in the mansion or the training facility explodes.
Yep.
I mean, because it does, I guess.
And then this is my favorite part. They're standing up on top of the ridge. She takes his his dog tags.
Dog tags, yeah.
You're free. Go on, whatever. And then she's like, oh, hey, look, there's another facility right there.
Yeah. And
you're like, is that supposed to be the one that Leon and Jill are in, or
Chris and Jill? Yeah,
Chris and Jill. I'm sorry.
Yeah. So that's the mansion. That's the mansion you see in the first one. Because you see. She's like, oh, that's the mansion that Enrico was talking about. I gotta go there.
Right. That's right.
And you're like, okay, so that's from the first one. And I'm pretty sure that's before Chris and Jill get there because in the first one when you meet, she's already there. So pretty sure she's gonna go there and apparently avoid all these zombies because there's nobody there. And then Billy's leaves. They do their little salute. They salute each other. Their little
for
salute.
Whatever reason.
For some random reason. Rebecca's like, Billy Cohen died in this accident, and saying that, he's gone, you're free to live your life. And we never see Billy ever again.
Goodbye, Billy.
Don't get used to him and the further franchises because this is the only time you're going to see him in his sick arm tattoo that he has.
Man.
And that is Resident Evil 0, the whole storyline. We obviously skipped out some areas, but I mean, we gave you the whole gist of the main storyline here. Real quick, we can get into mechanics, things that we didn't liked. Again, we talked about the inventory system. Oh my gosh.
Terrible.
Why? 6 slots? Why are you giving me 6 slots?
And it's always at the most inconvenient times. Like you'll start the big boss fight, you see the cutscene. Oh my goodness, Rebecca got captured or whatever, and you're like, hold on, let me just drop a bunch of things on the ground. Let me pick a bunch of stuff up. It's always at the worst part. I had the fight with the mini tyrant or whatever, like the giant guy. And I'm like, oh, let me swap ammo back and forth for 10 minutes before I fight this guy.
Yes.
You have the intense boss music playing and you're spending time doing inventory management. I will say the inventory management is the worst part of this game. I hate it.
It is.
Probably worse, like the tank controls I don't love, and it took a long time for me to get used to them. The inventory management, I cannot stand. Cannot stand it.
Oh my God. What do you think about when it came to the characters, the mechanics of each character, where you had Billy as the more tanky, offensive, he does more damage, but then you had Rebecca who's like weaker, but she's the only one that can like mix, and like the healer. She was the healer. What do you think when they're introducing those type of elements? Do you think it worked for this game, or you think like it was not as, it wasn't as prevalent?
I think it was an interesting idea. I think it's a little half baked in this game. But I think that for the time, if I'm creating this game in 2002, I think this is well executed. The AI still needed work. Sometimes they're a little dumb. Sometimes they don't do what you want them to do. But I think the difference between them kind of makes sense. And it really pays off really when you get to the laboratory level and you have the different chemicals that like Rebecca needs to mix and like to suck the poison out of that one room. And like she's doing a little more of this alchemy type stuff that you don't see any other time.
Yeah.
Rebecca's a little bit half baked. Billy's a little bit half baked. He's just kind of the dumb jock that like is good at shooting guns, and that's about it. So there's pluses and minuses to it. I think it's a cool idea. Like you said, the switching back and forth is probably a highlight of it.
I agree. I think it was good. But I also agree with you what you said earlier that I think the first half of the game, the train section, probably its highlight, the best point. It came in strong. You had hopes for it, and then it kind of just started to fizzle out as the game continued to go on. You're like, we're just back to Resident Evil 1. It's just another reskin, I want to say, sadly. That's just another reskin with character switching.
It gets cumbersome, for sure.
It does. It does very get cumbersome here, stuff like that. Okay, so as we're getting down, closing thoughts here for this game, as we kind of, I feel like might have beaten a lot to it. I mean, if you want to add some more things, I'm open to talk some more things.
The only thing, I just want to hear, what is your favorite weapon?
Jeez. I was a big lover of the shotgun because that thing saved me so many times.
Yep.
Shotgun saved me, but I do like I did the custom pistol.
Okay.
So I found the gun parts and I customized the pistol. I gave it to Rebecca because I'm like, Rebecca, you're needed, and I'm just gonna have Billy be the heavy two-handed gun. He's carrying the shotguns everywhere. So I'm gonna go with the shotgun because that thing saved me so many times, especially with the stupid monkeys.
What is your favorite enemy?
Oh, my favorite enemy, man. As much as I hate to say this, but it's those hunters, those lizard people.
Okay.
Because those things are like it encompass like scary. Because I was like, oh, they're like every other enemy. Like I was whatever. Like zombies, I could hear them. The leech men, I could hear them. The cockroaches, you could definitely hear them. They're doing the little.
Yeah.
I'm like, okay, I know those cockroaches. Hunters, you cannot hear these things. And like, there's 3 moments where I freaked out so much because they like jump scared me. One was when they're first introduced and they come out and then like you turn a corner and you just see them jump and you're like, oh snap, that freaked me out. The second time was when you're in the dam and you go down, you go right before you're about to fight the tyrant. You go down into like it looks like a missile bay or like the lift. You go down into that area. You have to walk down this corridor to pick up. I forgot. You pick up a lever or something like that. You pick it up. When you come back, the camera angle is facing away from the player, and the player's going away towards the camera. But you have to make a left. But as soon as you get to the end, a hunter just pops out, and I was like, "Oh snap!" It came out, so I was like, "Okay." And then I'm like, "I killed it." I'm like, "Great." But then you turn around, there's another one. You're like, "Oh my god!" So that part freaked me out. And then the third time it freaked me out was when I was playing Leech Hunter. There's a moment where you're in the basement. And it's where that roundabout is with all the animals, so you have to light the fires for the puzzle thing. Which that was pretty lame. I was like, what the heck? Like the highest to whatever. Anyway, you go down in that area, you make a right down the corridor, but you can't see because again the camera is like facing towards away from the corridor. As soon as you turn, boom, a hunter hits you, and you don't see it coming. I was like, oh my gosh, freaking me out. So, Hunter, I'm gonna give kudos to the hunters for being very silent and very beefy and hits hard.
Yeah.
One of my favorite characters. One of my favorite enemies for sure. Because it just encompassed horror for sure.
Yeah. What about favorite like singular moment that you had playing the game? It could be a story beat. It could be a gameplay emergent type scenario.
I think my favorite moment. I just got to go back to the train scene. I think. It's hard to narrow it down because I'm always thinking about the bad moments. I'm thinking about all the bad moments, but to try to pick it out from, I think the train scene, favorite moment, I just love the interaction when you first meet with Billy and Rebecca. It's so cheesy. It's so horrible. It's so bad, but it's like, this is Resident Evil. It's like, you're that guy they're chasing after. Yeah, I don't got time for this girl, whatever. And he's like, that's Rebecca Officer Chambers to you. He's like, oh, your stars. But it's like this little, and then they just like separate.
It's very tropey. It's very tropey, but it fits in this instance.
Yes, definitely. I enjoy it a lot. Travis, what's your favorite enemy? I got to know what's your favorite enemy.
My favorite enemy, they are super annoying, but the monkeys are probably my favorite like enemy design. Just like they're big baboons, they have like blood on their face, they're kind of hunched over, and they come just like leaping across the screen.
Yeah,
I think that's cool in like a zombie scenario.
Okay.
I would prefer that to like the bugs that are crawling around on the ground and
I hate those
just
bugs.
chittering and whatever.
Yep.
I thought
Definitely.
the mini, what is it, the mini tyrant was a cool design that like you saw once and never again, but it's like at least a cool entry point because you see that later on with like Mr. X and like these characters that kind of reappear later on. So those are my favorite. The shotgun was my favorite weapon because you can sit there in a corner and point up, and then like the zombies walk right into that thing, and you just like blow their heads off. Boom.
Oh yeah. Yep.
That's always satisfying. And then my favorite moment was definitely a surprise, not a jump scare or anything. Well, the frog was like a kind of a weird jump scare that was also like, why the hell is there's this giant frog that's as big as Rebecca? I love that moment. I think it's great. I laugh so hard. The other one is you're in the kind of in the dam area, and you walk into like an employee break room that has like the pool table.
Oh yeah.
And like the music shifts to like this weird, like funky jazz type thing, like funk music. And there's like a zombie in there walking around behind the bar with like a hard hat on.
Yes.
And that's like, it was just so unexpected. And I think I just got a kick out of that. Like these people are still in their work clothes, like forever as zombies, just bumping around to this funk music in the break room.
Yeah. There's one in the corner that's on fire for some reason. Just on fire, just standing there like, okay, sure.
I love that. I got a kick out of that. But those were two moments that really stood out as that I will remember from this game for sure. That and the train sequence, of course.
Train sequence, yes. I think this game, train sequence, is what it's a highlight of the game for sure. Okay, I ask, what is how many saves did it take you to beat this game?
Oh, I saved too many times. I'm like paranoid about that stuff anyways, and I am used to like, I don't know, other modern games where you just save repeatedly. So anytime I found a ink ribbon that was at least close to a typewriter, I was saving. Otherwise, I'm littering them all over the ground. So I probably ended up with, I think I told you 15, but I probably ended up with like more like 20 or so.
20. Okay. Yeah, I had it. I wrote it down as 17. I did it in 17, but I'm gonna take away like 3 of those because those were like ones where I started playing and I got to a section, but then like either like my wife or someone's like, "Oh, we have to go," and I was like, "Oh, great!" I just barely started. So I'm like, "Okay, let me just save real quick because I got a little bit far."
Sure.
So I'll take away at least 2 of those, the 17, because they were like super quick saves that like I didn't even get to like do a full run on my session. I just had to like, I went and picked up like a key item, and I was like, "All right, cool," and it's like, "Oh, I gotta go." Oh, great, I have to save. So I'll do 17. Died once. I would probably say that I only died once with the stupid frog. Didn't die by the tyrant. Didn't die by the any of the bosses. But I'm gonna give this not dying thing an asterisk because I did play this game on easy the first time. So I played it on easy. Enemies are obviously easier. They take less bullets to die. So I'm gonna go not dying once only on easy. On normal mode, I haven't finished playing it on normal mode. I don't think I will because I'm ready to move on to 1. And so, but maybe I'll get back to it maybe eventually. I don't know. It's one of those games where like I'll just play it if I want to, but definitely there. Okay, here's the final verdict here. I want to do a ranking system of zombie hands.
Oh, okay. I like that.
Out of 5 zombie hands, what are you giving Resident Evil 0?
Out of 5 zombie hands, I am going to do the like Left 4 Dead 2, where it's like missing all the fingers except for those 2. Definitely not my favorite of the Resident Evils. I think it has some cool, unique ideas that you don't see in the other games. The partner switching back and forth between Billy and Rebecca really shines. I think the set pieces really shine. I think the self-contained level, they really build on this later on, as you see in Resident Evil 2 and beyond. Or I guess this came after Resident Evil 2, but like, you know, you see this kind of progression to this point where they have these kind of puzzle boxes within self-contained areas. The characters are really nothing to write home about, although Billy is one of the strongest protagonists that never comes back. I think it has its strengths. I think it has a lot of gaps and holes and things that I look for in my Resident Evil that it does not meet. So I am excited to move past this one, go on to Resident Evil 1, get on with my life, hopefully get past these tank controls eventually, and move on to the later ones.
All right.
2 zombie hands out of 5.
Two zombie hands out of 5. I'm going to be giving it a 2 and a thumb.
Okay.
Zombie hands, so 2.5 out of 5. I would have given it a 3, but more of the clunkiness replaying it would have brought it down a lot. It is a game that does have a special place in my heart because it's one of the first games that I ended up beating. And so I really enjoyed it. I'm a big sucker for prologues and lore building.
Yeah.
So I really enjoyed that it built more of the story of like how the virus gets started. So you're getting the origins of how the T virus gets started. You're getting the origins of how Umbrella got started.
Yeah.
And so you're seeing all these cool little factors that you were used to seeing from 1 and 2 and 3. Have like in 1 and 2 and 3, we were like, oh, we already know there's a virus that has been causing everything. There's zombies. All right. So yeah, there's a T virus and Umbrella's behind it all. Whatever. We're just gonna keep going with the story. With 0, we take a pause and go, okay, this is how Umbrella got started. This is how this got started. There's been some accidents already here and there. Some whispers of things happening in Raccoon City, of suburbs, of people getting attacked and things of that nature. And so you see all of that progress in this game and see how you get more backstory. So I really enjoyed it, but it's not enough for me to give it a full 3. 2.5 zombie hands out of 5 is what I'm going to be giving this game for sure. I'm glad we finished it. I'm glad we're done with it, but I'm also very glad that we get to move on from it and go and move on to better titles here. I'm very excited to see what progresses more. Guys, let us know in the comments below what you thought of Resident Evil 0. I'm very excited to hear your guys' thoughts. Maybe something we missed, something that we didn't point out. Please leave it in the comments below. I'm talking to you, Operation Game Night family, and my nerd familia at Games You Must. Leave the comment below there. Don't forget to give a like and subscribe on our YouTube channel videos when we're posting this, guys. If you want to see more, we're definitely going to be continuing on this series, so I'm very excited. So get ready for some more videos of us talking about some Resident Evil here. But that was our take here on Resident Evil 0. I'm very glad we got to do this. Very happy that we're going to continue to do this. I'm excited to play some more games and start it. We should think about when we get to like 5, we should probably think about doing like a co-op stream. You know, because in truth, that's something if we can figure that out. Because I wonder if they set the servers up or something like that. We can figure something out. But I think that'd be really great. But the future looks bright with Resident Evil here.
For Operation Game Night, I have been Travis. He has been Vic from the Games E Moss podcast. This has been Operation Game Night and Games E Moss, and we're out.
Nos vemos para la próxima.